Hello friends, welcome to CEC Gurukul Live Lectures. This is our session on career counseling called Pratibha Sambardhan, and today we are discussing on alternate healing. Now what alternate healing is, we have discussed it in detail, and now the question arises, what are the areas, what is the career scope in alternate healing? So dear friends, to answer your questions, we have with us in our studios Ms.Mehr Lungani. Ms.Mehr Lungani is a counseling psychologist, a hypnotherapist, a tarot card reader who persistently makes efforts so that she could bring out differences. She could make out difference in people's life. She is a torchbearer, a youth-oriented psychologist, I should say, that who believes in bringing positivity. So let's welcome our guest, Ms. Mehr, once again. So Ms. Mehr, we discussed in detail about the various options if one wants to be into the area of alternate therapy. Now the question arises because alternate healing is a kind of healing which is the need of the hour, and if somebody is willing and somebody wants to have a career in this area, first or the last thing might appear, what are the scopes, what are the modern trends in India which are going on right now? So kindly explain us so that we are more motivated and more towards this area.
Right, absolutely. I think one of the most important things to understand is that alternate healing originated in India. All of these things that we talk about, which is astrology or tarot or pranic healing or Reiki healing, energy healing, even yoga for that matter, right? It's India based. People in India, way before conventional medicine was formed, believed in healing techniques like these. They would, like, if you go back into the history, celebrating, dancing, doing drama, using sound together was something that was considered very healing. Coming together as a community, we have a long history of astrology. Looking at the planets, talking about their effect on human behavior, that also exists. So इंडिया में स्कोप हमेशा से ही रहा है ऑल्टरनेट हीलिंग का. इनफैक्ट हमने स्टार्ट वहाँ से किया था एंड इवेंचुअली मूव्ड ऑन टू कन्वेंशनल मेडिसिन. The only problem now that has arisen is that we've become too dependent on conventional medicine. That we give science a lot more importance than nature at this point. And which is why Ayurveda and naturopathy are not as popular as going to a doctor and taking medicine is. So that shift has to happen first and foremost, and that is slowly now happening. It's sad it's happening because the West is adopting it, so we're also seeing importance of it, but it is happening. People now would prefer to go to alternate healers, get their energy work done, understand, do more meditation, do more yoga to understand, because this is more sustainable. आप पूरी लाइफ दवाई नहीं खा सकते. You can't be on medication for the rest of your life. But these are activities that you can do for the rest of your life. They are more sustainable. They don't harm you in the long run. A good, like doing 5 minutes of meditation every day is great for you. And if it's making you feel better and healing you, then why not? It's the same as exercise, right? So again, changing this ideology, changing this perspective is where most of the work lies, but the scope is great. People will prefer to go to alternate healers now, whether it's for their stress, their work-life balance, and slowly and steadily the acceptance is coming in mainstreams. Like we talked about the fact that yoga is now being taught in universities, astrology is being taught in universities, expressive arts is being taught in universities. तो जितना वो formalize होता जा रहा है, जितना वो mainstream में आता जा रहा है, which means acceptance बढ़ती जा रही है, which means again, अगर आपको degree मिल रही है तो scope है. Otherwise the government wouldn't have started it, right? And hospitals are also now working with alternate healers. So when you go to hospitals also, there is, you will find somebody who practices homeopathy there. You'll find somebody who practices Ayurveda. Hospitals, mental health centers have expressive arts therapists there. They have hypnotherapists there who are providing these extra work. So even in hospitals, corporate spaces, there is so much. I think the biggest scope is in the wellness space. I'm sure you heard of wellness retreats, right? So many places in India, like Rishikesh, like Kerala, they offer wellness retreats. They're known for their wellness tourism. There are so many resorts opening up which are wellness based, which offer all of these activities, right? They talk about holistic wellness. These are health retreats that they're offering. Like, come for 1 month in a year and take care of everything. लोग विपासना के लिए जाते हैं. that is also alternate healing. So that industry is growing. So they need alternate healers there. If you know a type of healing that is different from the other, there are people out there wanting to hire you as well. So the wellness tourism is increasing. More importantly, I'm sure you've seen online platforms now. With the boom of social media coming in on Instagram, on YouTube, so many healers have started talking about their work, sharing about what they do, what they don't do, what it is, fighting misconception, spreading better information. So a lot of the people, वो आपका एक gap कम होता जा रहा है. You are making yourself more accessible. So even if you want to connect with somebody from another state, you can, because digital media makes it possible. You can offer digital consultations. This is not something necessarily you have to do in person. I mean, it's great if you can do it in person, but online there is so much scope. You can get into the digital creator space with it. So people who want to combine their passion for healing and creating content, this is also, there's a huge scope there.
So scope everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
You just need to work and work,
Yeah.
and you need to be very passionate. Now the way we are heading into the world of technology, or we are into the world of technology, I would say, because the way digital media has taken the powers, and the way the digital media is making the things go viral, and people have started making use of the digital media too much, social media too much. So it is a very good platform for the alternate healers. I would suggest, or I would say, or ask you, so do you feel so that it is one of the best way you can popularize your work also, as well as you can give solutions to someone's problem also?
Absolutely. I think initially ये चीज़ें पहले print media में होती थी. So you still see there is a column in the newspaper for your horoscope.
Remember.
There are columns in the magazine which talk about your horoscope. TV news channels always have an astrologer or a tarot reader, right? So that scope still exists because all of these things are still happening. What social media has done is that it doesn't limit you anymore. You don't have to wait for a platform to call you and say, come give us your services. You can create your own services online. There's a huge world out there. There are so many people. Your work can reach globally. It's not just limited to where you live. And if you're doing good work, if it's genuine and people are resonating with the energy that you are putting out into the universe, people will automatically come to you. And that, like I said, you can create a full alternate healing practice online and connect with people who really want to, need your help.
You can sit at your home or you're at your office, and you can deal with anyone, anywhere within a second.
Right.
That is the power of the social media,
Right.
and you can have a huge fan following too, as well as you said, that you can reach someone globally. You can have your, international patients, not patients, or the people who desperately needs you. So you can reach out anyone, and depending on your popularity, you can charge, of course.
Of course, I mean the money aspect will come with the kind of work that you're doing. If you're doing good work, healing is intention-based work. If your intentions are good, it will give you what you're looking for. You don't have to worry too much on that aspect, and just keep your intentions clear. Know what you're doing. Be authentic. Be genuine about what you're offering, and you will see it come back to you tenfold.
Very true. Do you personally believe that the need of the hour is to have a hypnotherapist at all those places? We should hire hypnotherapists at all those places where there is a stress level at higher level, or where we have, the people at masses. For example, if you talk about schools, we should have a hypnotherapist, because at school level we see children have different kinds of issues. Though their age is too, they are at a very tender age, पर कहते हैं ना कि हर उम्र में हमारे पास दिक्कतें हैं, हर उम्र में हमारे पास परेशानियां, और जब परेशानियां एक स्ट्रेस का कारण बन जाता है, it really hampers our mental health. So everybody's mental health is important. So hypnotherapist at the workplace or the schools or the colleges, everywhere there are people, it would definitely help.
I think more importantly, what will help is a therapist. Any kind of therapist, whether it's a psychologist or an expressive arts therapist or a hypnotherapist, all of these people can help, because they all work with the same things, but modality different hai. Hypnotherapist will work by hypnosis, expressive arts therapist will work by expressive arts, psychologist will work with whatever modality they are trained in. So in all of these places, a good team of holistic healers can really be wonderful, right? Like even in the corporate space, when you talk about in offices, How many corporates actually have a psychologist on board in their office?
Very true.
Very few, maybe one or two. They also outsource this. They don't have a 24/7 9 to 5 psychologist that comes in just in case the employees need someone to talk to. They will provide you ki, okay, we know this organization, you can go here for therapy, but that's not there or part of their roster. So yes, I do feel like, I mean, the latest case, if you've heard of this young girl who gave up her life due to work pressure. There was so much that she was experiencing. And if she were offered that help when she was experiencing it, if the work culture was a little more understanding, maybe we would not have lost her.
इससे पहले कि हम उस दरवाजे तक जाएं जिसको हम नॉक करें for the help, it is better we have that person.
Exactly.
At the person inside the door, inside our premises, so that it is easier for us to approach. क्योंकि approach करते करते तक ही व्यक्ति का stress level इतना बढ़ जाता है, that person could do anything. So वो stage ही ना आए, it is better to have such people within our premises.
रिसोर्स हम ऑलरेडी प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं, आप भले ही यूज ना करो, बट आपको पता तो है वो एग्जिस्ट करता है. जो चीज एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करती उसको ढूंढने जाने में ही कितनी मेहनत लग जाती है.
और कभी कभी ऐसा भी होता है कि हम किसी नियरेस्ट को अपनी बात नहीं बता पाते, बट ऐसे व्यक्ति को बता पाते हैं जो भले ही हमारे बारे में कुछ ना जानता हो, बिकॉज वी डोंट नीड जजमेंटल पीपल इन आवर लाइव्स, एंड पीपल आर सफरिंग बिकॉज ऑफ द अदर पीपल, बिकॉज ऑफ द जजमेंट इश्यूज. दैट पर्सन विल जज मी, आई शुड नॉट टेल माय प्रॉब्लम्स, और आई शुड नॉट try to even find out even if the person is ready to give you solutions, because judgment karenge.
Exactly.
We should have such people. Now, another important area, we have seen those people who analyze your handwritings too, that what kind of person you are, what you can achieve in your life. So does this handwriting analysis person also falls in this category only?
It does. Alternate healing, yes. I mean, to be honest, in today's age, we've gone digital. Nobody writes anything anymore. We're all typing it out. But yes, handwriting analysis, also good ones who are trained, can really help you understand your personality, and it can come under alternate healing as well. There's a very, I mean, the evidence is slightly unsure, like the science, they're still researching, they're still figuring out if it really helps in any kind of healing at all. But yes, that does exist. There are people out there who are offering this. I know for handwriting analysis specifically, there is a lot of scope in the, in the criminal space, in working with the police force, because that's something that they really do require. But healing space में है opportunity थोड़ी थोड़ी बढ़ रही है.
Very true. So, as you said that there is scope, and yes, we need to find out that scope. And first of all, we need to analyze ourselves. What actually we want, and what is that area we actually fit in. और ये भी कहेंगे कि अगर आप डिग्रीज की तरफ नहीं भागना चाहते, and if you really don't want to, study and study, though you need a kind of study here also, but yes, if you want to go for the out of the box thinking, and if you want to deal public at a stretch, then yes, this is a very good option for the students or the people. And yes, I think age is no bar.
Absolutely no. Age is no bar at all. And in fact, because it's not formalized education yet, it becomes all the more important to make sure you're getting education and trainings. You're attending workshops, you're reading papers, you're meeting with other individuals who are in the field, you're really updating yourself. बिकॉज यहाँ पे कोई रेगुलेटरी बॉडी नहीं है जो आपको बताएगी कि ऐसे ऐसे करना है. वो आप रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आपके ऊपर आ जाती है कि यू मेक श्योर दैट द वर्क दैट यू डूइंग इज एथिकल, राइट. सो ऐसा नहीं है कि पढ़ाई नहीं है, पढ़ाई बस सेल्फ है. आपको खुद मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी वो पढ़ाई करने के लिए. कोई आपको ऐसे कॉलेज में 10 to 2 बिठाएगा नहीं और बोलेगा कि नहीं कि ये चैप्टर्स पढ़ने और एग्जाम देना है. So that's the only difference. But yes, definitely age is no bar. Anybody at any age can pick this up. A lot of it is intuitive. A lot of people are just drawn to it automatically. It's not something that they really have to focus on. So it's just building skills, and if you feel like this is something that you are drawn to and you really have that passion for healing, it's definitely for you.
Yeah, and do you believe that if in near future, or if it is persisting, I mean at this point of time too, it would be very good if the people who are into, for example, pranic healing or into the astrology, they build their own communities, and then they exchange their ideas, they create the platforms there they could interact, or they could let people interact with them, would also, increase the scope of this area or the particular areas which we are talking about?
I think that's a great idea, because कोई regulatory body, like I said, अगर है नहीं, but if all of us can come together and create that regulation, because who creates regulatory bodies? We people only do, right? And that is just one way of like going into the administration logistic aspects of it, that you create structure for all of these alternate healings to come in, to really apply, to build in that boundaries and ethics that healers should follow, so that the common man is not affected or is not duped or not scammed, because there is so much of there out there as well. So you build credibility, and that is something you can do. You do your studying and you get into the really deep end and create something stronger which can last.
And when we are into public dealing, it is our responsibility to let someone, please trust us. We just can say, trust us, we are the best one. But you need to build that common platform that the person on the other side of the road automatically attracts towards you.
Yeah.
Yes, you are the person who can give answers to my questions. So yes, this community building and then creating such platforms where one can exchange ideas, whether be it's general public or those person or the people who want to be in the these areas and have a successful careers, would be beneficial from both point of view.
Absolutely, yes. Like, it opens up so many doors for so many people. So you're not just creating a job for yourself or a career for yourself, you're creating a career for so many more people. Yeah.
And one thing is also, I mean, it is very interesting also if somebody wants to be at their own premises and they want to carry their passion forward. So this is the area where one can, अपने area में भी enjoy कर रहे हैं, आप जहाँ पर भी हैं, और आप अपने passion को भी carry कर रहे हैं. We have seen number of people who are into their jobs, in their primary jobs, but apart from their jobs, they are into these fields, so that they could enjoy, because they love public dealing or they have high analytical or the intuitive skills, and they pursue their careers in these particular areas also.
There are so many people out there who don't do this for a career. They only do it as a side thing. They have their full-time jobs in whatever fields they work in, but they want to, because they have that passion for healing. They have the skills. They, like you said, their intuitive skills are very high, and they offer that. So yes, I mean, if it's something you are already doing, if you're already in a 9-to-5 job and you were looking for something different and you feel like you're attracted to this, again, the scope is there. It's just your intention that matters the most.
How important is for one to have the patients at the highest level, because this is the area, this is the profession where it might take all your energies out. In an instance, you may get furious, or it would take hours and hours, and still you are as calm as you can be. So how important it is to be patient?
See, like you said, it is a people-faced job. You're working with people's emotions. People come up with all sorts of energies, right? They are experiencing a tough time. Their emotions might be all over the place. They are coming to you. You're the healer. You're expected to hold that energy, hold that space for them, so that they can understand what's happening to them. So yes, it requires an insane amount of patience. It requires so much of self-work also, to understand your own emotions, to know that, this is my emotion, this is the client's emotion, and not let the two mix up. And that is where your intuition comes in. That is where skill training comes in, which is why you have to do so much of practice in this. It doesn't happen in one day. You can't learn astrology in one day and start practicing it tomorrow. It takes, even though there is no formal education, you still need to give it the time and practice. These are modalities that come in, जिसको हम कहते हैं अभ्यास से आती हैं. जितना हम अभ्यास करते हैं उतने हम बेटर होते हैं, उतना हमारा पेशेंस बिल्ड होता है, उतने हम लोगों के साथ बेटर काम कर सकते हैं. So yes, patience required very much. Like I said, intention होना चाहिए कि ये करना है, तभी हम आगे बढ़ पाएंगे.
How important it is for one wants to be in this profession to read? How important it is?
That is your primary source of learning. Reading the work that other people have done, the books that are written already about this, the material research papers that are there. You also have to understand कि if there are people out there who don't believe in this, why don't they believe in this? You have to look at not just everything that supports it, but what goes against it also. Because you will have clients who will come you and question you, ki, does this even work? Should I even get this done? And how are you going to answer those questions? So much reading, so much research, so much networking with other professionals in the same healing space as you, so you really understand and grow as a person. You cannot limit yourself to just learning the skill and then practicing it. There's continuous education and, you know, evolvement that this field requires.
And yes, this is one of the most important points you have laid over here. If somebody questions you why it is, how you can prove that this kind of healing, it could be a boon, how it could change people's life. So you should always have answers. You should always have answers to justify what you're doing is right and how you have made a difference in somebody's life, by of course by practically dealing, as well as your analytical skills, which will come out of your work experience and the reading you did.
Yeah.
The last night what you did could be beneficial for you to, in the morning tomorrow, or in the coming days. So that's why I asked you why important it is. Now another important question जिस पर पूरी दुनिया टिकी है वो है communication. कभी कभी knowledge भले थोड़ा कम हो जाता है, लेकिन आपका communication let you in a win-win situation.
Right.
So how important it is.
Absolutely. ये basic skills as healers we all need. We need patience. We need the passion to work in this field, and people-faced work. No, so your communication skills need to be good. As a tarot reader, sometimes I look at the cards and the things are not so great. They don't show good things. But how do you communicate this to a person who's already so troubled, who's already expecting the worst result from you? So that ability to communicate, that also you need to have. It's not that you have to lie to them and sugarcoat it and be like, हाँ सब कुछ अच्छा हो जाएगा. वो झूठ नहीं बोलना है हमें. But एक तरीका होता है ये information present करने का भी, and that comes through your communication skills. How you choose to talk to them, how you choose to really put the information out there. This is what builds trust and builds relationships. This is why the person will probably come back to you. So yes, communication becomes even more important.
And it is also important to know who your people are. For example, if you're dealing with someone who is in the foreign land and the person know only French, for example, or if you are in a foreign land, in a particular country where a particular language is spoken, then your language learning would also be turn out beneficial for you. So sky is the limit. There are multiple options. Just one need to know that we have to learn and learn. So Ms. Mehr, thank you so much for giving us this wonderful session, and I believe that the students who might have watched us or would be watching us YouTube, now they might have started thinking this is also an area where we can think about ourselves, we can make our careers ahead. So thank you so much for giving us this wonderful session, and we believe that we could have many more sessions like these in the future.
Right.
So thank you, dear friends, for watching us, and we believe that you might have gathered maximum knowledge through this session of ours. We are going to upload this lecture on YouTube for you so that you can access the lecture the number of times you wanted, and afterwards, if you feel so that you have certain questions or if you have some suggestions, do write to us at cecgurukul.live@gmail.com. Keep watching us, keep writing us. We are going to meet again next Thursday. Till then, take care. Goodbye.